so we got a part 2 or a follow-up to a viewer feature that we did on a guy recently here. So I guess just we can get started with the very long description. We got it. Yeah, he sent us some stuff we didn't see last time, I think.
All right. So this says, "Hey dudes, just finished the video and I really appreciate the compliments and feedback. Thank you so much. I totally agree about the hands and neck tattoo feeling out of place next to the Japanese. Those places were for sure an afterthought." I think they meant pieces. "I naively thought I wouldn't do my hands or neck, but once the suit was done, I obsessed over it more than I thought I would and eventually just did it. To me, the blank space between the sleeve and the hand tattoos really bothers me a lot, and I plan to fill that in sooner rather than later, hopefully. But I've been a bit sidetracked with all the Blackout leg project, and I will eventually tattoo over the black, which was inspired by you, of course. I'll share pics of that below. And you guys were right. The panther and dragon heads on my torso were done first before I had enough money to commit to a Japanese bodysuit."
Yeah, I was right on both of those. See that?
I think my belly button needs to be filled in, but I am not sold on the nipples just yet.
Oh,
I knew you
on.
would say that, though. I'm sure one day my mind will change. In the pictures below, I sent the back of my neck bat tattoo fresh, some pictures of my arms, and also pictures of my legs with my leg background blacked out. No touch-ups yet, only about 2 months healed with a couple of cover-ups under there as well. I wanted to get started on the layering as soon as I can so we could cut off the black out with some hand-drawn tribal stuff at the top, since you can't really see it, but I'll probably end up blacking it out all the way up. But to be honest, I've really been enjoying just the black and might just end up blacking out my other leg before and layering it a different way. It's a different experience, that's for sure. Let's have a look.
So yeah,
That was a long one.
Yeah, well, the blackout is a growing infection, right? Like people will sit and they'll talk shit about blackout, and then they'll get some themselves, and then they oh, that's nice. And then all of a sudden they have way more of it soon. I see it all the time. Like anytime someone gets started, actually, I find that most people, as they progress their bodysuits, their work gets darker because they realize that they need the weight of the black, and then they start getting more and more open to heavy black work elements coming into it. Mm-hmm. It just seems to be a bit of a natural transition that happens where people, once they start getting full and their suits aren't as defined as they wanted, they are open to these darker elements to kind of work in some more contrast. So it's not really a surprise to me ever when a full bodysuit ends up, adding black to it. Yeah, no, I could tell right away the hands and the neck were additions to this, though. It was very, very obvious. It's never, everything else was very cohesive, right? Like you see here, the hands are just kind of tacked on. It's like the other sleeves were designed that way from the start. That's like a sleeve idea, right? They laid these sleeves out all at the same time, even if they didn't execute it all at once. It's very obvious that these were done with the intention of being the entire arm, and then the hands just kind of get tacked on here.
Yeah.
So, and it does have those hand tattoos are cool.
Yeah, they're nice hand tattoos.
But they have no business being in these sleeves. So, and the way that those hand tattoos, the sleeves end, it is a difficult problem to work with them. It's actually kind of, I'm just now thinking about, the only thing you could maybe do is take the light blue and yellowy orange elements and fill in the negative of those, wave pieces at the end, and just kind of color into the new kind of traditional tattoos. So they would at least be in some way, color-coded with the sleeves. Because, you can't really do much of a design in that space. And it's not like you're going to just build a wave around, you're not going to build more of that, wave finish around these tattoos. There isn't enough space for that. So it's actually a more complicated problem than a lot of people would think.
I think like if the only like cohesive thing that you could do, and it still won't be cohesive, is just to black them out.
I think color. I think because then if you black, like they've got like heavy black in them.
Yeah, I really like what they are. I just think like the only way to make it look cohesive with what's there is black them out and then start over again.
Oh, the hands?
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to do that. They came recently.
Yeah,
so,
I really like the hands.
Like I think that these were done around the same time he started the Blackout. So, and I don't know, like, because there's this problem of like, if you have black hands next to these bright colored sleeves, and then you start realizing like the black in your sleeves isn't that black, and then you start looking at that black and you're like, well, maybe I don't need this sleeve anymore. And I really don't really want that for this guy because I like these sleeves a lot. And I think that it's best that he's doing his Blackout on his legs right now. Because the minute he starts toying with the notion of blacking out any of this upper body work, suddenly it's like all of it has to go because it was all built together.
Yeah.
It's the same problem with those Japanese bodysuits. We featured Ink Travel Guy and my other friend. I can never remember how to say his name. Laser Rizvik, I think was his name. Laser Rizvik. That whole suit was like built together, so it's like if you take an arm out, you have to take it all out, right? So it's not as simple as just put some black paint here and there. I think the best thing to do to tie it would honestly be take some of the color elements. I would do maybe orange and light blue for the lady face, and then maybe red and green for the other one.
Well, the lady face already has red on it.
Yeah. Just so that they're
cohesive.
They're cohesive, but they're not necessarily uniform, much like the sleeves. I think it would be better to do that. And then this is the back of the neck tattoo that I had said we didn't get.
I really like it.
You could see peaks of him.
Yeah, he's super cool.
He's cool. I want one of these guys on one of my legs again. I've had a few of these bats. I've had, I think, 4 different Neotrab bats, like three big Neotrab bat faces, and this one's really cool. I want mine to have 3 eyes when I do it again. It's going to be on my calf somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably either late this year or next year, but when I see these guys, I'm like, I miss them. The only thing about this one is he has a bit of like, I always want my bat face to be a little more narrow. He looks a little bit like a pig. He's got a bit of a piggy nose to him.
Well, there's a breed of bat that has that snout.
I like this tattoo. I just don't want mine to be that like pudgy faced.
Okay.
I like the more like narrow, pointed faced ones. But see, yeah, I mean the color play is great and it goes well with what he has.
I think it goes really well with his sleeves, like for sure.
I could see building these waves up around the neck a little easier than down on the sleeves.
Yeah, I agree with that too. There's more space for it.
You could have the waves come up behind the tongue and around the frame of the face, and you have like the tongue is in the forefront, and that's no problem. I think it's pretty easy to attach this if you want to. Mm-hmm. And then we see the Blackout leg.
Yeah, you got some really nice, like, traditional pieces. Like, I like these. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably get rid of them. These,
I think
like,
everything
lady
gets
faces,
blacked out down here.
These are really nice. Like,
they are. It's just like they're out of alignment with what he's up to now.
Agreed.
And they're also like ignorantly placed
Yeah.
in comparison to the rest of his work.
Definitely badly placed, but I like them. Like, again, like a really good trad artist.
And the problem is like for what he's up to now.
Yeah,
and
they don't go.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense anymore. And I also don't think that those tribal finishes are going to stay. I think they're kind of neat.
I think that's what he was saying, though, that they probably won't.
Yeah,
stay.
even he knows. See, most people don't. Most people don't have that self-awareness. They're like, oh, no, I'm here now. I'm going to be... And it's like, no, you're not. Look like Black Scratch.
Yeah.
Right? That guy, like, every time he reaches the new point, it's like, oh, this is it. It's like, no, it's not it. It's important to realize that when you have this much work, you probably just like getting tattooed and you're probably going to keep going. But I do think the way they framed with the halo of negative space, it's good. You don't always need to do that. Like, you can go right up to the edge of the other tattoo. But this does make them pop a little bit. It's just, I think it's only a matter of time before most of this is gone. I think both legs are going to be black. I think that it's for the same reasons that I was mentioning earlier, because he probably would like to have a black arm, honestly. He probably would.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, how the fuck am I going to do that with this whole top is tied in?
Yeah,
right? So it's like,
that's the hard thing about those Japanese bodysuits always.
I mean, it's not a hard problem for this guy because it's like his legs aren't as tied in. So like he can get that release of wanting to do that here, where his legs weren't as well thought out. They're really cool though. He doesn't really have much for bad work.
No.
I'm struggling right now to remember the chest. I do remember it, but like I'd need to see it. I'll put it in here for viewers, but I do remember saying that that you could tell the chest was like done previously, right? It's like everything else has this look of like, I don't care what it costs. I want it to be good.
Yeah.
Right? And the Blackout does too. So the Blackout is not the cheapest part of this suit for the people out there thinking it is. But no, this guy's got some great work. I want to see how you tie in your hand tattoos and your neck tattoo. I can see you're busy with the Blackout right now. I think the next time we hear from this guy, he's probably going to have a lot more black on his legs. But next thing, I would try and address the hand and the neck stuff, because it'll really upgrade everything to have everything tied in. And I'm curious as to see if he's going to do like a throat tattoo as well, like something on the center of his throat, because it's like the idea of like these suits originally was like, I can wear a suit and no one will know I'm tattooed, but he's pushed through that now because he has hand tattoos and finger tattoos and one on the back of his neck and stuff and side of his head. So it's like it wouldn't be much more strenuous to add in a throat piece. And we both know throat tattoos are very they're very fun. Like, they're rewarding.
They are super rewarding, and I'm like, honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was in for like hell.
It sucks, but it's doable.
It was kind of hell, but I've had worse tattoos for sure.
Yeah, he's got a cool collection, and keep us up to date with where you go from here.